My name's Jake Taylor. Been a loan officer now for a year to the month. So I've been on the phones for a full year now. I do both outside and inside. Most of my production is involved with inbound customers, calling in. So I first found Sales Remastered because I think most LOs can, associate this, but when you first become a loan officer, they kind of, show you the systems and they do a little bit of sales training, but I would say it's more focused towards the systems and, how to get your loan moving through processing over into funding. And then they kind of just throw you on the phones. I felt like it was up to me to, really dive into doing my own homework as far as what do some of these calls sound like of some of the top LOs, and they have some resources with the lender I'm with right now, but a lot of that was done through YouTube, and that's where I landed on your page. Yeah, so right now I'm enrolled in Sales Boost Camp, and I think one of my biggest struggles before I started watching your videos was being able to lead the conversation while you're taking the application or even just the initial conversation with the client. Because I feel like I came from an industry that was more customer based and, just really answering to them. And that's what I felt like I was doing a lot when I was on the phones, just answering to the customer. And that just leads you down like a bad path as far as having them tell you what rate that they want. The Sales Boost Camp really helped me out with that as far as what are the right types of questions that you want to ask and how to avoid the whole conversation being just rate focused and more so, what is this person really trying to achieve with the refinance? So when I got into this industry, August of 2020, it was when the market had just dropped super low. So honestly, when I was hopping on the phones, you were able to almost lock loans in your sleep. There's really no structure behind the calls. It was just, anybody was trying to refinance. So whatever rate they saw, they took it. I knew it was going to happen, but the market obviously started creeping back up. So you had that flow of initial people that started refinancing from the very get-go kind of die off. And then it was just kind of leftover market. And those people were a lot harder to sell. So there had to be some type of structure behind it. And that's when my loan volume and my pipeline started to die down a little bit. And I saw myself just like beating myself up every day on the phone for 5 hours in the call center, just trying to get as many leads as I could. And they're just trickling in. And the ones that I was able to connect with, it was just that one conversation I had with them and that was it. And they were gone. Yeah, so my productions increased. When I was in that struggle point, I was probably in the single digits for locks on a monthly basis, but now I'm easily and consistently in the double digits, right around 15 to 20 locks a month. So with the Sales Boost Camp, I looked at it more as it's definitely going to help me make more money. I wasn't making the money that I wanted to or that I saw myself making earlier when the market was super low. I just thought of it more as an investment instead of going out and buying a new pair of shoes or some new clothes or a new watch. I'd rather invest that money into something that's going to help me continue to make more and more money later on down the road. And definitely think it's helped out with that. This goes out for anybody, because I would still think of myself as brand new to the market. And I think any LO kind of sees it that you work hard to get licensed. And then once you're licensed, kind of just thrown into calls and you don't really have the sufficient amount of training that's required to develop that technique when you're having a conversation with the borrower on the phone. And you almost feel kind of lost because you don't really know who to go to and you try to reach out to your managers, but you know how this industry is, everybody's busy. So you get that little bit of time with them, but it's definitely not enough. It's not that one-on-one time that kind of feel like you have with Sales Remastered. Shout out to Sales Remastered because it's definitely helped me focus in on where my weak points were and how to go about handling those weak points. And it brought me from an area where I was feeling like lost as far as what to do about improving my production and help answer my questions that I had as far as what I needed to do to gear the conversation and take control of the conversation.